adult language and humor that is not suitable for viewers under the age of 18. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Sponsored by Hard R.
The views and opinions expressed during the following video content are those of the individual and may not reflect those of others. Thank you.
I already need it. Great guitar riff you're doing there, Mike. I didn't know you're that good.
I wish!
Oh, you must have gotten Pet for hire to do that.
Aaron, shut up.
What Steven said!
I will never shut up.
We're in trouble now!
Oh, yeah, we're really in trouble.
But aren't you every week? Hey, who the hell is that guy?
Steven! JFG!
No, he's just the guy who's talking from Rumble.
Baron on the tag, man of legacy. Yeah.
Greatest ever.
Money bin.
What again?
Some dude, some guy.
Who the hell is that guy?
Good evening and welcome, one and all, to this edition of Pacific Forum 4 Pop Talk, coming to you live on the Pacific Forum 4 YouTube and Rumble channels, along with Twitter. We are also live on Barrett Armitag's Facebook page and his YouTube page, along with the Phantom Hooligans. And
Hooligans.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. He said Facebook, and I'm like, he's not going to have that page after this show.
That's right.
Counting on it.
And tonight, Darren,
sorry,
come to you live from MySpace. Whoa, anybody there?
You found Tom, man. You found Tom. I'm so proud of you, Baron. You found Tom.
Good
for you, man. I know.
Hey, I am
But
the
along
king of MySpace.
let the man finish his intro, Baron, for fuck's sake.
I never do.
He always does this.
Fucking white supremacist.
And
along with Barrett Armitag, Cash Money 007, I am your host, Mike, and tonight we welcome a great friend of the channel.
That's a huge bit.
talk about me again?
Which part, huge or the bitch?
Both.
Now it explains the soap being dropped earlier. Now I understand.
Yeah. Oh.
But tonight we welcome a great creator, great individual to Pacific Forum for Pop Talk, and that person is none other than Fat Steven Seagal, also known as Fat Steven JFG. Welcome to the show, Steven.
Just use
Steven. I think there's a little too much bullshit when you say great.
I will. Don't worry, Steven. Jeez, man. Come on, man.
I don't want to be a broken Steven.
I don't
need you to send me the codes. I don't need you for 2 months to make alt accounts because I got fucking my replies hit it on Twitter. Grow up. Sorry.
Does that mean I have to stop stalking you too?
You haven't even replied to one of my tweets.
I haven't?
Yeah, dude. What the heck?
I have.
What the heck, Baron?
Yeah.
Well, probably on my alt accounts I have.
Oh yeah. Okay, Carl.
No.
Right.
Here we go. Didn't I say he was going to do this? Yeah.
Oh, boy.
How you guys doing? You having a good day?
Oh, I'm doing great. How about yourself, Steven?
It's
Freaking
great.
pizza.
I love having individuals with the mindset of a fucking raccoon before it gets hit by a truck, thinking they're trying to be an edgelord. It makes me get my balls non-chugged.
In that order. Okay.
Pretty much, yeah.
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 Got it.
Yeah. How are you guys doing? Have you had any obsessive fans lately?
I wish.
Can't say I have.
No.
Oh, T-Gap Steve. T-Gap Steve. Big Daddy.
See, we are ignoring you, but the fact of the matter is, you came here, and nobody knows you. I love
I
this.
don't know who he is.
You know who he is?
No.
No?
Never heard of him.
Mike knows him because for my Rumble channel, because we do dissertations
Mhm.
about soys and simps. Cash Money, I don't know if you know him, but it's nice seeing you upgraded Trigon picture.
Thank you.
The Goku
But
there.
Soys and Sims, I figured that would have been right up Cash's alley.
Oh. Well, he's a fan of Pokemon.
Oh.
Is he?
Think so. Are you? That's more Woopa Toopa. But are you a Pokemon guy there, Cash?
Pokemon, not Pokemon.
No, Oh my god, not that.
I don't know.
The one with the $40 cookies. They taste like shit.
Oh, her. Oh.
Yes, that's the one he's referring to, Baron.
Yes, I know that cult. I know you. I know, because we had
Thanks for having me on, by the way. This is kind of an interesting way to start off, eh?
Well, you know what? Pop Talk's always interesting, but I think the most interesting part of starting off is when we have the latest episode of Beverly Hills 414 from T-Gab Steve. Steve, one of these days you're going to tell me where it's going in advance.
Have you told Fats yet that Pop Talk heals and saves?
That's what Phil says. I don't see how that's possible.
I don't know either.
Was I supposed to say something?
I don't
know.
I'm just trying to, leave it open for anybody.
That's a lot of nuts.
Yeah, that works. But first, before we get underway with today's episode of Beverly Hills 414, we got a super chat from DJ Ronnie G.
All right, put the money in the bag.
I'll buy that for $1.
DJ Ronnie G says, I'm so obsessed that sometimes I even put Barrowman and Phantom Hooligans on at the same time as I watch this.
Wow.
That's something.
That's a lot of bandwidth.
Yeah, that is a lot of bandwidth.
DJ. Well, if there's one person out there I know that got it, it's him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I want to say hello to Arwen Avalon. Good to see you, Arwen.
Hey, Arwen.
As a matter of fact, I also want to say hello to, come on, Leia Rose. We have Wolverine here. Good to see you, Wolvie.
Oh.
We also have Carl. I don't want any trouble from you, Carl.
He's not joking.
I am not. Apollo means minion.
Hello.
We also have Tim, known as FKHC 2005. And T-Gap Steve. Steve, again, you need to tell me where the story's going.
Big Daddy T-Gap Steve. Come on. You keep on forgetting that, Mike. Come on, Mike.
I don't forget it. I know one of you's going to say it at some point.
Well, you're the one that gave it to him.
I know, but you guys like to run with it too. So.
Yeah, that's true. Got a point there.
Well, now, Barrett,
what?
The ball's in your court as far as reading T-Gap's latest edition of Beverly Hills 414.
That's because I got big balls. Here we go.
His mouth.
Yes, yeah, and Baron wrote this song with AI. So, Steven, feel free to block it.
What song?
The song that's playing in the background.
I can't fucking hear it.
Oh.
All right, Baron, you're up.
Well,
get out there, Tag. God.
Well, I mean, he didn't hear it, so I'm just trying to be nice here. I'm trying to be a good guy. So previously, I'm starting here, okay? So previously on Beverly Hills 414, Mike almost could hear the ding noise of unlocking an achievement instead of the beep of the register scanning something with each packet of meat that was run up by the cashier. He felt decidedly accomplished in this task and could almost smell victory approaching. But now the hardest and most risky part of this endeavor left to be performed: escape. "If you could keep the cookies separate, please," he said to the young bagger. The guy blinked a couple of times but shrugged and stuck them in their own plastic sheath. That didn't sound right. Phrasing!
No.
Mike paid and even did the roundup for charity. He could use all the good karma he could get for this next bit. And you know, cash would never do that. And 34 cents wasn't going to break his bank after all. And he headed for the exit. He wanted to say, step 1 accomplished. But by now, he was on step 10 or 15 or something. Either way, this was the tricky part. He first made sure his keys were in hand and ready. Next, he took the Oreos out of the bag and set them in plain view and ready access on top of the other bags. Then he broke open the bags of Milano dark chocolate mint cookies. Oh. We ask that every week.
And every episode, Steven.
Every week.
Each and every episode of Pop Talk.
Twice a week, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He could feel the eyes on him as he munched on one, then 2 of the cookies, saving his appetite for potential cookie dilemma. And then, holding another cookie in hand, he exited. They came at him in waves, boxes held out. The "I'm so cute and adorable" looks on their faces, only to be beaten back by the Oreo cookie counter and his Milano defense. Repelled like Dracula being shown a crucifix and his mouth filled with cookies so he couldn't inadvertently say, "Yeah, sure," to their demands for cookie purchases, he ran the gauntlet. 10 feet, 8 feet, 5 feet, getting closer and closer to full escape into the parking lot. 4 feet, 3 feet. This one has a wheelchair, sneaky but futile. 1 feet. Freedom! There. Baron felt silly during this next phase of Anime Jace's plan, but he always felt silly during a gearing up phase of things. Though he did admit the outfit showed off his ass. What?
Whoa. Again, we need to talk, man.
5 o'clock meeting after the show. That's all I gotta say. He was distracting himself from the task at hand. How had the Ikami returned? He thought they had been banished to the depths of RAM space after that whole Y.
Phrasing!
Nice, the shit's still going?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Twice a week, Fax.
Twice a week.
Anime Jace had been telling him that this time the Ikami had come back to destroy the Kirki Tani. I know I obliterated it. Our inspection seats. Baron had listened, but all he kept hearing was MacGuffin. Do you fucking understand, you fucking fuck? Anime Jace asked, and Baron just nodded absentmindedly.
Oh boy.
He didn't, but then again, he disliked info dumps for dramatic purposes. The fucking ass long and the short of it is these fuckers destroy them. Then those genres of anime die and are erased from history. If anime is erased from history, I die. All Jaces die. You know, I should do more like Jace talks. Yeah, and without you, the Y2K thing happens, and everyone is enslaved, Baron said, showing he had been paying attention, or his previous relationship had made him good at information regurgitation. He wasn't entirely comfortable with the fact his beard was now striped with neon blue lightning bolts that pulsed and glowed somehow. Actually, I find that pretty freaking cool. But he accepted it as part of the genre. So how did they escape from the Ram dimension? He heard himself asking about. A second too late to stop himself. Now he had to settle in for what he knew was going to be a flashback sequence. Krypto sat there in his car, the silence on the phone, just hanging like a pair of shoes dangling from a power line, swaying in the breeze, all forlorn and lamented, but soon forgotten. Wait, what? Phil said into the silence. Of course, Phil would be the one to ruin such a poetic, metaphorical moment. How in the hell are you the one disappointed? Damn it, Phil. I've faced techno bandits in the sewers of Paris, resurrected emperors in Rome, sky pirates in Hawaii, and even lion women in the Serengeti. The real man-eaters. Phrasing.
Yep.
I faced down reanimated Greek gods, and they were intimidated by my chin, even though they were, for some reason, in Finland, and save an ancient king of the Aztecs who showed up in my shower one morning. Oh, please do tell us sometime more about that.
No, how about we don't find out?
I don't get it, but continue.
A man is judged by his worth of his enemies, and I keep hoping that you'll be a challenge, or at least make things interesting, but you're not, Phil. You really just need a good... Again, the silence says Krypto finished his venting, frowning at the phone as if the man on the other end could see him. As far as nemesis go, Phil was a pale imitation compared to the rest.
And
Okay.
speaking of Phil, he's here.
Well,
I knew I smelled cheese.
yeah. Everyone's favorite troll. Yeah. See, right there. No worries, Pop. Talk and heal and save you. See, I told you.
And I also want to welcome in the Low Spec Linux laptop. Everybody's favorite penguin besides Punkwaddle.
Two penguins enter, one penguin leaves, Penguin Dome.
Yeah. If the two penguins leave, that might be a problem, Baron.
That might be, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Cryptocoin, you thought you could distract me from... Phil began to squeal into the phone as Krypto just hung up on him. Same old predictable Phil. What a bore. Now that Mike has run the gauntlet, does he have the cunning to make it to his car and finally escape? Or will he be boxed in and run out of Oreo cookies? Did he even get milk? What are the economy?
Wait a minute.
And how...
I forgot the milk.
I don't know.
Come on, Mike.
Come on. Yeah, man.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Corn Pop's a bad dude. You need milk. What are economy, and how did Baron go back in time to help Anime Jace fight them off in 1999? How did they escape? Can we blame iPhones or Bill Gates for it? Will Phil ever measure up as a proper nemesis for CryptoCoin? And can we hear more about these lion women, the man-eaters of the Serengeti? They sound hot. All this and more as Beverly Hills 414 continues after these messages from TGAP Steve Mercantile. That's right. If you're balled down there, give Steve a call. He'll make sure you're taken care of. So back to you, Mike.
What the fuck was that?
We say the same thing every freaking
What
episode.
the fuck was that?
We say that every freaking episode. You know that.
Oh, I know. Steve. I think the four of us need to talk, man.
I say a lot of known words, Arwen. We can all kind of do it.
Oh my goodness.
That's why the wording disclaimers there. That's why I have it there at the beginning. But Steven, at this time, I want to congratulate you on 5 years of content creation. It's quite the accomplishment.
It is. Thank you. Sorry. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at
No, I know what it is. You're trying to process everything that TGAP Steve wrote, and you're probably thinking,
oh no,
why
I
the hell
tuned
did I
him
come
out
here?
after the third paragraph. I was out. I was done.
Yeah, I bet.
I don't blame you.
I call bullshit.
But again, congratulations on 5 years of content creation. You're not only a content creator on YouTube, but you're also over on Twitch, you're on Rumble. And what those who maybe never been to your channel would probably like to know is how did you get into content creation?
Well,
Good answer.
shut up. Lockdowns, couldn't go to work. Then I think I found like Nerdrotic and Az and all that shit. Started doing memes, really much channels. Then somehow ended up making a channel, being co-host with Lorena. If everyone remembers that, that was what a lunch table, and doing comic roundtable with Loki's. There was even the Kings of Prime Time. Sorry, Baron, it's been a while since I remember that show. And pretty much doing a lot of FN on my channel with like huge lobbies for years and PTSD. I'm trying to sum it up as best as possible.
All right. And did you know what you wanted to do right away with your own channel when you started, or was that something that took a little bit of a process to really find your niche?
Not really. I just did whatever the hell I wanted to. That's how the Babylon 5 got started, and we got we got the actress who played Lita to come on, and it was pretty much everything. I just wanted to play games, stream, and I really don't know. I don't know what my idea was. I was like, this sounds cool. Let's do this. I think that's when I met Keith from Pop Culture Minefield. We did that. There was no set goal. I think it was to get monetized and see if I can have like a secondary income just in case, because disability can't pay the bills. And it was just, it's pretty much make it for yourself and be yourself and just see if you can gravitate your own audience. And it kind of worked out. Then the convoy happened. We blew up from there. And that was the downward track of the demonetization train of over and over. But it's still gaming. Rumble's still on gaming. We still have it's more variety. We'll have conversations about everything while the game's being played, but pretty much there was no plan. I think I just wanted to not get on the screen, but just get on the mic and just start talking about whatever I wanted to fucking talk about.
Nothing wrong with that idea.
Oh no, there isn't. No, not in the slightest.
The really important thing is having fun, right?
It was fun, but it had its ups and downs. Like you're always gonna have those moments where of realization where people around you are not exactly what they are, and then you're gonna have ones that are exactly what they are. So it's kind of like a roller coaster. You don't know what to expect each day, not just from the platform, but from the environment of the people around you, the topics that come up, and your direction can change in a day, or it can take a year, and you just go along with it. I don't think it's limited to one thing. Like there is inspirational people out there that have kind of gave me the kick in the butt, but everything else is just because I wanted to do it. Make sure I get paid for this. I don't need them to pay me. You need to,
but
you should pay me for reading that.
You mentioned how you watch people like Neurotics and Geeks and Gamers, and I think we could all say that they've been an influence on a lot of us who have started our YouTube journey and even expanded that journey to other platforms like Twitch and Rumble. And from your experience, what are the hurdles that somebody might find themselves running into if they decide to use YouTube, Twitch, or Rumble during their journey?
Well, with YouTube, more because that's where I started. Like we still have the channel there, but YouTube, just be aware that the goalpost is always going to move. And you're never going to know how it's going to affect you next. No matter how much you talk reality or try to abide by rules and like the regulations of, especially YouTube as a platform, one day it could either make you or break you.
Doesn't take much, especially in this cancer culture that we got. One wrong word, and they come after you with pitchforks and torches.
Yeah.
It's not even that. It's the algorithm picking up the wrong word and you getting hit for something or covering a news broadcast. It could be anything. You can literally be doing the same rules and following the guidelines, and yet still you will get punished for it because they just because hey, you're on the mark this time. It's I don't know.
Well, Stephen,
Go ahead.
I feel that like with trailers and stuff, I don't like this whole thing on YouTube that you have to pause things every 10 seconds. But I guess on Rumble, you don't have to do that. You can just run the trailer or whatever straight across without pausing or.
For now, but eventually it's going to be like
until
Twitch.
they
If you get big
fuck up.
enough, eventually the companies are coming after you for the DMCA and the copyright shit. Like nothing is impervious, right?
True.
Which is one of the stupidest things really out there because you're giving free. FREE, all in capitals, advertising.
But you don't own the license to it.
That's true.
That's why reaction content is good and bad. You can like some reaction content can promote other channels if the video is real good, and other times it could be taking away from the actual channel who put all the hours and effort in because you're just sitting there and watching it and then giving a critique. It just depends. It depends on the personalities who are watching and the perception of the people who make the actual content, right? I could say the same thing for me, covering every streamer and that was down there during Ottawa, right? Or covering every House of Commons broadcast or news article and stuff like that. Even with having myself or 3 other people on, and we're literally pausing and talking, having conversations and everything throughout it, it still got hit for used content, which is even more effed up. So that's what I'm saying. It falls into the goalpost. I'm not going to beat around the bush and say it's the bestest place ever because it's not. If you have a goal, have fun, be yourself. Remember to read as much as the chat as possible, and be prepared for anything. I'm not being trying to be like a negative Nancy here. I'm trying to say it's not always going to be the best days. And let's take the platform out. You're going to have situations where one day you have the best friends in the world and the next day you have the worst enemies in the world because biases, envy, jealousy, all that stuff.
Jealousy, petty, all kinds of stuff going on.
Like the mindset, like, well, I've been here longer. You don't deserve what I should have already gotten, stuff like that.
Right.
Your opinions are now in the prospect where you're not valued. Or if you're not saying the right thing, we're going to get rid of you. And that falls in the pop culture sphere as well.
Right.
It's no longer my opinion. I like this or I dislike this. It's okay, cool. We can still be friends. It's now you're the enemy. It's a whole bunch of stuff. It's in 5 years, I've watched a lot. And
it is because we've even had our own experiences here on Pop Talk where we had somebody who was in the chat who said they had more subscribers than everybody that was on the panel. And they should be on the panel.
Even when I started before with Twitch, Stephen, they would tell you all these things, all these people who are you get to know, networking, and they said you can't expect anything, and that's the same on YouTube or Rumble. You can't expect your friends to be there. You can't expect to get subs. You can't expect anything. You just do what you need to do and just keep going from there, and it'll all come. But you can't, you don't want to compare yourself. Oh, this person has more subs than this person, so this person must be better than that person. You're just going to set yourself up for disappointment.
And it's not always going to come.
Exactly.
If you can't maintain an audience, it doesn't matter how many channels shout you out or how many big people you have on, it's not going to sustain you. You have to keep your audience there, right?
Right, exactly.
Right.
And then you're going to do Sorry, go ahead.
I'll say my apologies. I was just going to say the most important thing is never quit being yourself. I mean, a lot of people sometimes make it big and then they think they have to reinvent themselves to match, and it's like, no, you're losing the most important thing that got you there. You.
Right.
And
if your passion is no longer sound like passion and just sounds like a broken record, then you're pretty much you've inepted yourself. We just need one. Just like we only need one heel versus babyface or one critical drinker. You can be inspired by them and take pointers, but don't let yourself try to imitate them because it just ends in stupid shit. And
that's what people do too, Stephen. They want to imitate. So you've got about 5 as however you feel about as or these other streamers. They just follow the same content and so on. And I guess it's popular, but they should do more of their own stuff, or their whole channel is basically all it is negative. Well, isn't there some kind of positive in between? And I see that too with a lot of channels, I guess, because it gets clicks and it gets this. I mean, if people want to do that, fine, but
I guess, but right now we're in a sphere where negativity sells more, drama sells more.
oh yeah, I agree with that.
It's like everyone turning their head when they're passing a car crash. It's the same shit.
Right. True.
I think there are some channels out there that do also are able to talk about the negativity, but also do it in a positive aspect and balance it out. And
which is good too. Yeah, I agree.
But the positivity might not always do well because people just want to see like the corporations or the businesses that have like kind of screwed over everything that they love.
Yeah.
They just want to see them burn. So it's really hard to try to inject positivity at the same time while watching everything else as just burning. It's like, why give props here and then shit on everything else? It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this isn't a bitch fest. This is just what I've seen, right?
Right. Yes.
But,
it's like you asked me one time, do I find it hard to look for articles that focus on the positive? And I'll admit, I do find it hard to find the articles that focus on the positive. But it's something I try to look for. Because I don't always want to report on the same thing that everyone else is reporting on, especially when I don't have anything different to add.
Mm-hmm. And it's always funny too when people are in the chat, Steven, and they'll say, "Oh, well, don't you guys like anything?" That's always one of the funniest things to me. It's like, well, yeah, we do, but we're spoiled because of all this great entertainment. And even in the 90s and the 80s and whatever, early 2000s, the early 2000s, there was some problems there, but it's just a lot of the entertainment that we got was really good, and there was a lot of good storytelling, and people really cared a lot about these things. And so now it's all up in the air. And if people are like, I love everything of Marvel, I love everything of Star Wars or whatever it is, it's like, good for you, but you can't get mad at people because they have actual gripes about this. And a lot of this stuff really doesn't make logical sense anymore. And I'm sure you know that too, Steven. Star Trek, Star Wars.
Well, there's a positive spin with that. It's like,
yes, there is.
If Paramount goes bankrupt, people won't see more Star Trek.
Right. True. Yeah.
Well, as I sat back and said, you have two series on behind a paywall. That's Star Trek that's being canceled.
Right.
Behind a paywall.
Right.
If that doesn't wreak failure, I don't know what does.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. And this wasn't supposed to be negative either. Like I'm not negative. I like what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't put as much content on YouTube anymore just because some of the conversations that I have on Rumble, I don't have to worry about being, hit down or the stream like, oh, you broke this regulation or you broke this one. It's nice being able to just do what I need to do and have a good time. Like I stream almost 10 hours a day every day.
Wow.
And it doesn't even feel like it.
Nice.
Because you're having so much fun. Right.
Yeah.
And one of the
screaming at a game. Yeah, I like screaming at games and bringing up other shit and like seeing the trolls. It's so good.
But one of the things I like about your channel, Steven, is you do welcome everybody in. As long as
almost
pay attention to your ground rules, don't be a jerk. They're fine.
Yeah, or a wanker. Yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah. And that's just it. Like and eventually it's like we're gonna reach a point where we're gonna start seeing new people popping up, and it's happening more and more because they're now trying to get into the YouTube sphere, the content creation sphere. And you're gonna start seeing that some heads might butt and other heads will come in thinking they're the fucking king shit. And I'm gonna tell you right now, no one's really the king shit. Everyone's just a normal human being behind the mic or the screen, right?
Yes.
But as soon as you start developing that fucking ego or this type of character you want to be, thinking the other person in general, you don't know them. And the shit that you might try to pull off will just end you in a place you don't want to be at.
It's also weird to me too, Steven, because like you get people on a panel and then they said, "Oh, well, I heard this from this streamer or this bigger streamer." It's like, okay, but what is your other opinions on this? You know, do you just listen to whatever these people say? Do you ever watch this content yourself? And sometimes you get the feeling that it's follow the leader, I guess. Oh, well, they said this, but I'm not going to try this. Sometimes it's not always the case, but I do see it sometimes.
I think that falls under whether or not people are able to make their own opinion, or they either want to be a leader in the passion they like doing, or they just want to be a sheep because it's an easy road to success. The problem is the easy road to success will eventually burn out because
Agreed.
you're constantly going to be going after the thing, and there's going to be sometimes the thing you know nothing about, and you're going to look like a fool. That's the big thing. I've heard people say you need to step on people, whether they're friends or not, to get to somewhere more successful. I don't believe in that. I'm not going to step on anyone.
Bullshit.
No.
I've seen that shit, and it's not right. But at the same time, I've seen people that just have a great time. They are able to converse with the chat, take a couple jokes, go back and forth, and
of course,
they get what they deserve. I've met a lot of new streamers, especially with Rumble. Like their first year is streaming on Rumble. So it's nice seeing that kind of positivity where they just want to see the platform grow, and they're pushing all their energy to make it look like a welcoming place. And F you too, Decepticon. I hope you find your daddy in prison. I wouldn't say, I don't know how to explain it. Like I'm just a simple person, right? I have my own shit going on in real life. Sure. I don't have all the answers, and of course, like you can go look at my YouTube channel. I don't put content up there anymore, and the sub count's dying, the views aren't great. That's cool. That's probably because I'm in the doghouse for numerous reasons when it comes to YouTube. That's awesome. I also wiped out like 700 fucking shorts, like a couple months ago. I'm not as attached to this platform as much as I'm willing to work on Rumble, and Rumble is not like the end all be all,
right?
But it's a place where I can feel comfortable. I still stream to Twitch at the same time, but I know Twitch has its own naivety when it comes to stuff. YouTube, I would love to get started again, but I don't want conversations that I've been accustomed to having get me in more trouble, because they have a priority of what's allowed and what's not, which is mostly hypocrisy.
Right.
Would I be correct in saying you don't want the constant feeling that you're walking on eggshells?
That's pretty much it. It's like having a monkey on your shoulder, constantly waiting for you to say, "Did you just say that? Did you say medical information? Did you just say medical misinformation? I took a vitamin C this morning. Ban." You know, like it's that shit. It's like I'm guessing I'm like quartering right here. All tech is there. Why not fucking use it? It's a platform. You can't afford StreamYards? Try Rumble Studio. It links up to everything. There's stuff out there. I don't work for Rumble, trust me. But we got into the partner program twice, right?
Okay.
And I didn't expect that. And they were really welcoming. They even developed graphics for you, like starting soons and animated shit for your stream partner. They had all this shit ready to go. It was really nice. I just, doesn't matter where you're streaming. I know YouTube is like the biggest piece of the pie, but you should at least give everywhere a chance to see where you think you would grow the fastest. And if you're only in it to grow and make the money, by the way, give me money, or you're here for popularity, then it's the wrong thing.
I agree, man. A lot of people who get into YouTube and streaming, it doesn't matter if it's on Twitch, and even Twitch is a dumpster fire too now, where it used to be, especially in 2016, 2017, around there. It's really unfortunate that people are like, oh, I'm going to make money, or I'm going to do this, or it's like, no, you shouldn't think that way. Have fun and then just build your community from there. But a lot of people go about it the wrong way, and then like you said, the petty jealousy, the other people come in, even mods that you may have come in. It's like, oh, well, why do you have more of these subscribers? And it's like, well, what are you doing to your channel to make it more entertaining? Because it's supposed to be about entertainment. That's what it mainly should be. So,
Well, yeah, I was going to say, just because YouTube right now is the giant doesn't mean it's always going to be the giant.
Exactly.
Just like somebody out there who's a giant in YouTube, or even Rumble for that matter, doesn't mean it's going to be so. Sometimes someone will say the wrong thing,
Yep.
legitimately wrong thing, and
Yep.
lose a lot of members, or they get tired of it and decide to move on, or just the whole thing, like you were saying, Fats. That right now, the being negative is what a lot of people are going for. Well, maybe soon it won't be, and they're going to be looking for people that are more positive.
Yeah.
Things always shift and always change. You got to be prepared for that. So,
Yeah,
always good to branch out. Always good to branch out.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
I will say one thing though, as much as like people tell you don't engage with trolls and all this time, it's fun.
It can be.
Fun. It's
It can
fun.
Yeah,
be.
it can
Yeah.
be. Oh, yeah.
I don't need to prove myself to anyone, and no one should have to. If you're gonna get people in your chat or like just on your streams or comments saying, "Well, why do you believe this? I don't think this is right. Well, you should change your this stuff." Like people that try to push like their own bias or their own kind of narrative or ideology on you, or throwing a tantrum because of your content or how you treat certain circumstances of actions, just blow them off and mock them. That's my opinion. I don't care. Like,
Yeah.
you're still nobody. I'm not
Yeah.
chasing anyone down. And
Right.
the more they chase you down, that means the more you're doing something right. Just like you guys were saying before, have fun. Have fun. I'm having a lot of fun. I've got a lot of great opportunities. First with Valiant, starting with his doing his artwork, and then getting introduced to Pro and becoming part of Park Place and handling all their thumbnails. Right.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I
It
just
is.
recently heard about them, so they seem pretty interesting. Their website, they got some good articles on there.
Yeah, well,
Stephen.
and that's why I bust my ass, right? That's why it's like called gaming and graphics. I'll game, but if I have to do a graphic, I'll do the graphic right there. I consider it a job, and I treat the work ethic more important. At the same time, yes, I do play with my trolls. I don't care. Like you might think I care because I talk about you. It's no, I'm trying to point out the idiocy of some actions, right? You during convoy, I had people call me a terrorist because I wouldn't give the answer they wanted. Big fucking deal. I don't care. Sorry, I swear a lot. I don't care. I don't care.
That's why we can swear on here.
Doesn't matter.
I've seen shit on YouTube where people have gone to the extent that most YouTubers literally would like cancel you for, but they get a free pass for it. There's just a lot of
I
shit.
hate that. That shit is annoying. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of infighting right now, and for the channels that are smaller and trying to grow, the hardest thing is, do I jump on this bandwagon and either be pro or con versus the infighting that's going on, or do I stay out of it and just try to make myself sustainable by myself? And it's a lot harder because it's like, guys, just stop fighting for 1 minute. You're kind of pushing the goalpost that doesn't need to be pushed.
Right.
But you also can see from those actions where I want to go, and should I ever reach that point, make a random. I should probably stop now. I don't know. I've had a blast. I'm gonna leave it like this. I've had a blast. I have no real complaints, minus some friends that I've probably lost, some things that have kind of happened, but I
That
don't
happens,
miss it.
unfortunately. Yeah.
It is, but I don't miss anything. And I
No.
think the more mindset is that you're gonna lose and you're gonna gain is just keep having fun, man.
Agreed.
I'm having a blast. Like
I think.
Go
Go ahead.
ahead.
No, I.
Go ahead. No, sorry, Josh. Go ahead.
I just, I mean, this is in bigger streamers, even on Twitch, they tell you the same thing. It's like, it's all about entertainment, but it's also the chat. Like there's a whole list of things that you need to pay attention to. But even if you do that, it doesn't mean that you're going to keep growing. But you want to be engaging for sure. And it's amazing to me that you see even people on their webcams and this and that, they're just not engaging, or they looked bored. And it's like that's going to resonate with other people who are watching the streams. You need to have energy. You need to be engaging and, find stuff you're passionate about. I think there's a lot of things, and that's why a lot of people quit streaming. They get frustrated. They get petty with other. Yep. Yep.
I agree.
It doesn't matter, just having fun. And it's just like you were saying earlier, Fats, about how things have changed in the 5 years you've been streaming. I could say that in the last 10, probably 20 years of fandom, it's changed so much too. Where, like you were saying before, you can have a different opinion about a show, an episode, a franchise, and you agree to disagree and still get along. Now, if you dare say you don't like a certain franchise, you give legitimate reasons, they go after you like you are son of Satan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, it's like, really, honestly?
The honest question is even talking about this with not like trying to make it seem like a bitch fest. It's just the whole subject matter in general is draining, and you can already feel it in you when we talk about this because it's kind of not like a depression, but it's more like a disappointment, and that disappointment can drain out of you because we need positivity as much as we need like the negativity to keep us balanced. But when it's always negative, this is true on YouTube as well. But if everything around you is negative, it's like you're waking up feeling pretty good, and then you're seeing all this negativity, and it kind of it starts draining you. Maybe not everyone, but then that drain starts building up and building up. It's the same when like you're keeping shit bottled up inside because you don't know how to talk about it.
Yeah.
It kind of affects people the same way, and that's where viewership will get messed up too. It's I don't know how to describe it. It's like a roller coaster of what the fuck and hell yeah at the same time. Yeah, that makes sense. Like streaming is awesome. I never thought I'd be able to do this. Like I never thought people would come by or even want to mod or want to jump on stream or have conversation. I never thought any of that would ever work. Never.
Right.
And I've gone to talk to like Az or Gary. I've gone to talk to like Lorena or Robert Meyer. I've had the opportunities to talk to like Chuck Dixon, Gary from Pop Culture, all that stuff. I've had opportunities that I probably wouldn't have gotten anywhere else, and that's what I'm appreciative.
Yeah, talking to Chuck Dixon, Barron, and I, that was very cool, and Mike Barron too.
Mike Barron's
this year probably some of the best experiences I've had is being able to talk to Gary and Keith.
Yeah,
Gary, not so much.
He's okay. He's okay.
Yeah, he's up. No, I don't know. I was just being interviewed, but it's more like I just don't want anyone to take it as like, oh, you're just shitting and you're just grumpy. No, I'm not unhappy in the slightest.
No,
I'm literally not.
I mean, it's a fun adventure. That's what I look at it as. You look at it as a fun adventure. You're having fun. That's the main goal. And before you know it, you got people joining you because they like it's infectious. They can see if you're having fun. They can hear if you're having fun. If you're not, why should I listen to you? Why should I pay attention to you? And that's where I go back to saying, be who you are. I mean, yeah, we play ourselves up a little bit. We do make ourselves a little bit of caricatures of ourselves when we do a lot of these shows. But when need be, like now, we become serious, and the full real of us comes out. But even then, when we're in our roles, we're still us.
I'm the same person on mic as I am in real life. Mine is dealing with people because I can't stand crowds of people anymore. But I'm exactly the same. So it's like, yeah, that doesn't change. Like I'm not gonna blow smoke up anyone's ass.
And you shouldn't.
No, and there are people who don't like smoke being blown up their ass. Be real.
Oh, man.
That's all we're asking. Be yourself.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the chat has questions. I don't know. I'm a nobody. Honestly, I look at myself every day as a nobody. I'm just a guy who gets on stream, plays video games, and has a conversation with people. That's it. I'm still a nobody.
But I wouldn't call that a nobody. I call that guy who's going out there having fun. You're a somebody. People do appreciate you. Just because you don't have it might not have a giant amount or might be a small. It doesn't matter if people are enjoying being around. You're somebody, and just like the people in the chat, we always want to make sure that we appreciate them. They're somebody's too, even if they don't have a channel.
Oh,
that's right.
And even at the beginning of Pop Talk, I know you saw it in the credits where it says "Welcome, one and all." I started that when I was doing post-game reactions to Chicago Cubs games, because the way I was looking at it, I don't care if one person watches, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Anyone who comes by is welcomed. Do you feel the same way?
No, just to let you know, I did lobby to get rid of that, but I lost out.
What? What?
I said
You
I
were
did
breaking up
lobby to
there a
get rid
little
of
bit,
that.
Barrett.
Oh, my apologies. Sorry. I said I lobbied to get rid of that welcome one and all, but I lost out.
Of course.
Mhm.
I mean, that's the thing. When I go to Steven's channel or any channel, I find that you are very welcoming of others who come in. Even if someone's having a bad day, you help people have a better day, maybe by the conversation you're having with them, Steven.
Oh, no, I hate my chat equally. Trust me, I hate everybody. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I like some of them. No, I like all of them. Right. Some, maybe.
Except me, right?
You're never there.
I am sometimes. I need to show up a little bit more. I've
Like-
been tardy on being on social media and even
It's not a guilt trip. It's okay.
No. I'm not thinking no, it's not
You're
that.
kind of defensive there. It's like you just
Barrett,
realized you said
Barrett,
something wrong
Barrett.
at work and you're going to jail.
What?
for a
Barrett,
long time, bro.
Barrett.
What?
Lighten up, Francis.
I'm lighting. What I'm trying to say is I'm ashamed of myself because I enjoy doing it and I don't know why I don't do it more. And I need to.
Do you have a real life, Baron? Do you have a family to take care of?
Not anymore.
Oh, I
No, really, honestly, I don't. My kids are grown and out. I'm thankful for that. Not because they're out of the house, but that they actually are starting their lives. And I must have done something right to help bring them up. If they're out there and able to take on the real world out there, it's just the wife and I. And like I told you a while back, I went crazy, so I'm not currently employed right now. Yes, I suppose at that time it kind of took a lot of the wind out of my sails. But I'm starting to get those itches back to be more, what would you say, prevalent on YouTube and even social media. I never really liked social media in the first place. I mean, I only have the Twitter or X or Twix or whatever for promotion. Same thing with like the Facebook, which was really neglected, has been. But it's going to the people's chats, going in your channel and all that, or even if you opt to have me on when you had always been enjoyable, just like being with these other two knuckleheads with me, the three stooges. I just need to get back in the swing of things. So I'm not saying it out of guilt or defensive. I'm kicking myself in the ass to get going more. And I do consider this my therapy. I consider being with you guys in the chats and all that is something that's been a bit healing. I don't necessarily talk about a lot, but it is healing for me. And more I start doing it, the more and more I realize that, yeah, this is really healing my soul after my big crash. Mentally, not physically.
Sorry, I kind of got it off track. I didn't mean to do that. My bad.
Oh, no,
this is all
we're
about
never
you
off track.
tonight, Steven.
Yeah, it's you, man. It's you, man. Come on, man. It's you. Corn Pop's a bad dude.
My name's Corn Pop.
I guess it is now.
I know.
But you do gaming on your channel, and you play a variety of different games, whether it's be horror games or strategy games, RPGs, you name it. You play whatever game happens to appeal to you at the time, or you get the beta testing and you decide after playing the beta whether or not this is a game that you're going to actually invest a lot of time in. But what is your particular favorite genre of games that you like to play?
I guess it would be survival right now. Pretty much survival, like Once Human or Sons of the Forest, or like when we're doing like Abiotic Factor or just stuff like that. Nightingale, when we burned through the early access, waiting for more. Pretty much almost anything.
Well, the one I have to sit back and say that really, when you were doing Dark Tide, and I was watching you doing Dark Tide, it started getting me interested in the game. Of course, now we're playing it, and it's like, whoa, this is a damn fun game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're not going to talk about Vermintide 2 right now, though. It still hurts.
Why does it hurt?
It hurts, Cash.
But because there's 2 levels in the game that we're stuck at because we're not doing it exactly the way the game wants us to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're getting a little frustrated about that.
Yeah, I had to take a break. It's Cash's fault. It's Cash's fault.
Why is it Cash's fault?
Well, it's his dream. And he was also several levels higher than us. Is he even here? Or did he go to the whole food?
He might have gone somewhere.
Mm.
All right, I had to check something. I thought there might be an emergency.
Okay.
No emergency, so that's good. Anyways,
this is good news. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's a lot of fun we've been doing on Friday nights with Cash. Helldiver 2. That's a great game too.
Yeah,
right. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's weird to say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I thought about Steven like having you on to play Myth Force, but then I'm like, he's probably bored with that. I just get that in my head. Like you've played a lot of these other games, and I'm like, I don't think you want to play Myth Force. Did you ever finish it though?
Yeah, we finished it. We did it with
you
Survive Sundays. So I think it was Script, Tickle, myself, and Wolverine. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still up for co-op games. That's the whole thing. It's just I need
okay. So I should send you a message and be like, hey, I got this. You interested in playing this? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Well, scheduling usually.
Yeah, of course.
Let's talk about Survive Sundays. You've had Script Doctor on. You've had Tickle Trunk on. Of course, Wolverine's been on, and you guys have played a variety of different games there. And currently, you're playing Sea of Thieves.
Yeah. Well, they're playing Sea of Thieves. I'm just getting drunk and puking on them. But that's.
I think Sea of Thieves is a good game, Steven. I just wish that you could actually have more stuff that you can do like you had in the other pirate games. Be in a jail, you can get out, a guard's trying to attack you, things like that, a bar fight. I think it's a good game, and they've added definitely more content to it since it's come out, but I think they could still do more. Do you feel that way, or are you just satisfied with?
I'm satisfied with how it is right now because it can take some missions can take forever. Fallout 76, I also dived back into, and that's had a full revamp as well. Yeah,
Phil likes that game a lot too. He talks about it a lot. Yeah.
Shit, I gotta stop playing it.
That's right.
Smart move.
Yeah, I don't know.
Careful, you might get a message from Phil saying, "Where's my Fallout?"
Yeah,
I don't think so. I don't think it works like that.
Where's my Myth Force, Cash?
I know every time. So you're still up for playing stuff like Myth Force, but you didn't. Helldivers 2 has just not been.
I'll play it again when I have an urge, but I haven't really had the urge to.
Gotcha.
It's just, I just haven't had. But it's the bestest ever spreading democracy.
Right.
I just haven't felt it.
Just haven't felt the feeling of it. I get that.
No, it's not a bad. It's a bad game. I just don't.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You think games like Fortnite are still fun, or do you feel like they?
I have even taken a hiatus.
Oh, yeah,
no, that's a fair. That's a fair
I remember Steven was playing a lot of Fortnite. I pay attention to things, so
even
you do?
Fortnite, even
I
Fortnite,
do.
Yeah, even
Fortnite, not with you, Bear.
I've even stopped with Fortnite.
You have?
Just
got
it's
draining.
not gone. I just don't have the energy for it. Well, there's other circumstances, but I'm not going to get into it. It's just
I gotcha.
There's a lot of titles out there, like especially with survival games, that I've kind of been stuck on, and it's just how it is. Like eventually, I'll have to play Fortnite again, but it's just I played it for 3 years straight, every day. Right?
Wow, that's a lot.
As well as other things that happened in between it, it kind of just every once in a while you're going to need a break. That's where my break
Mhm.
is. It's trying to detach from some of the things that game emotionally kind of puts me through, and it's not the people I play with; it's the people that used to play that kind of left an after effect.
I get that.
Understandable.
Completely understandable.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow, am I making it awkward in here or something?
No,
No.
Okay.
I was just thinking.
I just don't know if Cash wants to ask the next question, Baron, or if I'm going to ask the next question.
I'm
We're
too busy listening. I think of a question, but I'm
Yeah.
listening and I forget the
Me
question.
too.
But it'll come back to me here because I just like listening to them. That's what's great about having guests is
I'm lazy.
even though, yeah, I'm lazy, but you and I know each other, but it's still great to listen to you talk about certain things. And yours is an opinion out there I do greatly respect. Probably be the only time I say this, and I will deny this in the future.
It's recorded.
I
It'll be
never.
replayable.
Oh, damn it! Should have known better than that. But I just enjoy it because again, being lazy. I never could get into Fortnite. I tried playing it with the kids, but I couldn't get into it. It was not my game. But I noticed that there's been a lot of change. My daughters play it. They do the Sea of Thieves as well. But I haven't really watched them play it and such. So, I wouldn't call myself a gamer. I'm getting back into playing games, but as I joke with everybody, and it's not really much of a joke. The Xbox was the first game system I bought since the Sega Genesis.
Good.
It's a good one,
Shows you-
man. That's a classic. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sega Genesis
yeah.
it's great. I mean, you can buy what 40, 45 games or something like on Steam. It's pretty good selection. There could be more, but still pretty good.
I mean, I still got my games, so I just have to hook
That's
it up.
good
and start
too.
playing.
Yeah.
One of my favorite games is Rampage. I mean, I love that game.
I remember that game.
Oh,
Freaking anonymous.
lies. He's lies. That's it. I'm kicking him out. Where's my mod in here? I got a. Where is he? He's out of here. He's out of here.
And one of the questions I wanted to ask you, Steven, is when it comes to gaming, does it really matter if it's PC or console? Can you like both and have fun with playing both?
Yeah. I don't know why there would be anything different.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. People are divided on that. PC, console. It's like why?
Well, because
it's fun.
It's the elitism thing. It's the same thing where people would say, "Oh, there's nothing to play on PC. PC's dead. They're console begging again, and they're begging for these console ports." Like it's just stupid. Like they could, all these companies they could make so much more money, but they just leave all of it on the table most of the time. And I mean, I don't really understand what has happened with PS5 and Xbox Series X. Like, if you buy an Xbox Series X, something like Rare Replay, there's like 30 games right there. Buy Halo Infinite. I think it's a pretty fun game. It's not as good as some of the others, I don't feel, but I just they could do so much more. I feel like PS4, there was just more games to get excited about, and with these newer consoles, I don't see too much. There's a few things, but I think even something like Stellar Blade will probably come to PC at some point.
It will. It has to.
Right.
I think the other thing is like the best way to describe it is that being a gaming channel, especially in a pop culture community, is not always going to be easy.
No, it never is, man.
No, because it's most people either are not into the games or they won't pay attention to the games until like what's going on right now with Grums and shit. It focuses on gaming again, but it'll be gone because they don't see gaming. Some people do, but some people don't see it as like the way Hollywood runs, and it's now becoming to be like yeah, it just gets to that point. So yeah. I think there's also another atmosphere where just because you're not talking about pop culture, your opinion is invalid to people that are doing pop culture, and you'll
Right.
get to the point
That's
where people
stupid
think,
too.
well,
Mhm.
why is
Yeah.
he on the panel? Why is she on the panel?
Right.
She just plays games. She
Mhm.
doesn't know anything. And I'm like, well,
Right.
you're invalidating someone just because they don't do the content you're expecting them to do.
Mhm.
So
Right.
why would they have an opinion about it? And I think that's another shit that's been going on in the sphere lately. It's like
Well,
clout seems to
Yeah.
be and biased entitlement is kind of a way down, but we just got to push through that shit too.
Right.
well,
I agree. I agree.
I mean, just because someone's focusing their streaming on like gaming or whatever, doesn't mean they don't have opinions or a passion about pop culture. Because let's face it, it does go hand in hand. Of course, someone's always welcome to come on and talk about pop culture, even though their channel isn't about it. Well, that's not what it's about, so they don't talk about it. But they can go to another channel and talk about it. It is valid.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
And real quick, I just want to say hello to Greg over on Rumble, and I also want to say thank you to Darth Lena for following the Rumble channel. And we have Beast M083 who says Sons of the Forest is not that great. You start the game on the island, and then the cannibals they start attacking you without even building.
So
Really?
Hmm.
that's what happened to Joe Biden's uncle. Okay.
Mm, mm, mm.
Maybe you
And-
got. Maybe it depends, but you can run on the beach and get to an area where there has a lot of stuff. I don't know if that's everywhere.
Mm.
Really?
I mean,
Or-
you can speak from your experience of playing Sons, and what do you like about the game? What do you not like about the game?
The fucking caves. I hate the caves. I hate going to the dark caves with those mutants. But yeah, I understand the cannibals, but you start up on the beach, right? I was okay on the beach. I guess it depends where you
Mhm.
start. I don't know if it's random each time you can start in a different area or not. But yeah, the cannibals can be a pain in the ass.
hmm
But it's not a bad game. It's actually really well done, especially now that it's an actual release now. They've added a bunch of stuff to it. So I would say give it a playthrough again.
hmm
Yeah, this is
And you played a game like Breathage. You know, what are your thoughts on Breathage?
its humor is okay. The gameplay is okay. It's just the constant back and forth with the oxygen shit. That's
Yeah.
But yeah. It was all right for a stream, but it's not something I can see myself playing over and over again. Like if I don't like with Once Human, I will if the beta is 40 days or 60 days, I'm playing it almost every day. That's a lot. When Nightingale dropped out, I took the week off and saying, hey, I played Nightingale till I got to end game.
Mhm.
So it pretty much depends if it can hold my attention, if it's worthwhile for people watching at the same time, if they're enjoying me watching it, and if it's just good. And indie titles seem to be a lot more progressively achieving than a lot of AAA titles. Like I only got Stellar Blade because I wanted to see what the story was about. I wanted to see what the game was like. I got a hard copy, and also so I can put in my title uncensored and bait people to click on the thumbnail. But it's I'm happy just doing Sea of Thieves with my friends. I'm happy playing new games that get betas and I can go, well, this is shit. I ain't touching this again. This is god awful. I like games that provide a challenge where I'm screaming, why aren't you jumping when I'm pressing the button? Why aren't you I like there's moments like that. If it can hold me for 10 hours, like was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I was playing Fallout 76, met one good guy, then we made another good guy. And we just did like public events for the whole day and just joked around. It was pretty cool. I like having those interactions. Then we switched over to Once Human, and I met this guy that can hardly speak English. Just help me out across the thing. He went from shooting each other to going, no, I don't want to shoot you, bro. I'm just here for the event. Next thing you know, he's dropping items for me and helping me on some of the crafting stuff. I'm like, all right, this is cool. So it's like those types of environments, like Lethal Company. I played the shit out of that too. It was fun. I appreciate those moments. I'd rather have a good time and be my normal self in game than have to constrict myself to obey to like a goalpost of the platform where I'm on. fair to say I'm also going to be like I don't think Rumble's 100% perfect. The same I don't think YouTube's 100% perfect. I just want to play the games, have a good time, and hoping people are enjoying it at the same time. I'm not in this for the money. I'm not in this for popularity. I'm just doing it because I like doing it. I take care of my dad. I live at home. You guys remember the flood where a whole condo got destroyed?
Yeah.
All those things.
I remember the pictures, and you.
Honestly, the people that have helped me build my first computer, or helped me build my second, or were there helping donations with the flood, so we had like meals that we can get takeout and shit when we had like our whole fucking apartment ripped up. I think that's also another reason why I do it, is because it's in a way it's like trying to pay it back. They're putting faith, time, which is more precious than money, and their money into me because shit's happened or they're enjoying it. And the best way I can do it is hopefully stream and make them enjoy what they're watching at the same time.
Give them the best experience possible.
Yeah, I don't need to kiss anyone's ass. I don't need to pander to get this or that. And I'm going to speak my mind, and not everyone's going to agree, and not everyone is going to disagree. It's just nice. I don't know if I'm a gamer streamer or just a variety streamer, because I do everything. I got a topic on mine. I'm sorry.
No,
topic's you.
With Pop Talk, we can get off topic, we can get back on topic. But tonight, like Baron said, it's all about you. And one of the things you do during your streams, which I find very impressive, is when you're making a thumbnail.
Oh, God.
The process you go through in making them.
That bad, eh?
No, Steven, it's not bad. Because, I don't know about you, but when I look at the canvas in Photoshop or whatever editing software I'm using to make the thumbnail, I look at, the canvas, and I could already see the picture, but it's up to me to find the right images to actually get that picture to come together. Do you find the process similar, where you see what someone like Valiant needs for his video, or WDW Pro needs for his channel, and then you start looking for images that meet that criteria?
I got to go by the title, or Valiant says what images he wants, and I just go by them. Other times it's they're like, I want to do this, and like, and I'll try to do it. Like, not every thumbnail is going to be perfect. Not every video is going to grab the views of the last video. So, but I always try to make sure I'm adjusting accordingly. It's not that hard, Steven. Anyone can put pictures together. It's really not that hard. I've heard say before. I'm like, yeah, it's not that hard. But at the same time, when you're doing it, I think for someone else, it's you're trying to do it from a standard of another person.
Right.
And I think it's fun. I think it's fun. I don't know. I never thought I'd be doing this. So, like, honestly, I still don't think they're good. I don't. I never do. I don't want an ego. I don't think they're good. I'll sometimes redo a whole one because I don't like the one I have just now. Like, even now, I'm doing one for pro while talking to you guys, and I'm like, I've already downloaded 8 pictures, and these are not. And why can't I find good ones that I just want? Don't make me do extra work.
I mean, you did a great job on Mike's there. The Pacific 414 logo there that he has.
A little bit. It started with AI art, and I just edited it accordingly. I've told people before, like, I'll use AI as a base image, and then I'll tweak shit around.
Sure, makes sense.
Yeah, like I told Barrett and Cash, you took what I had already done, and you gave it an upgrade.
Yeah, to a degree, but I just do it because I just want to do it. It's not because I'm trying to earn clout. I'll just have an idea and I'll run it by people. Some people will like it, some people won't. But that's pretty much it. I don't see any of it as really work. That's the best way to describe it. I don't see it as work. I just see it as, all right, let's see how this works. I don't know if I'm making sense with that. That's just weird.
Yeah, I mean,
you're making perfect sense, because if you don't see it as work, if you're enjoying what you're doing, then it isn't work.
Yeah, you find it a challenge. You find it fun. You find it rewarding. I mean, of course, everybody who does work, artistic work or whatever, are never happy what they have. you get praise all the time. I could have done this better, could have done that better. And that's just it. Always striving to the one above, the next step, the next step, the next step. So, but if it's fun, if it's not, you don't feel it's taxing or draining. Of course, it's not work. It's a passion.
Guess, did you have any questions you wanted to ask Steven?
I'm trying to think. You guys covered a lot, so I'm serious. He did. Hmm. I got another question, I guess. What's been your favorite game so far this year, Steven, that you've streamed?
Actually, I don't have one single one. I enjoyed Abiotic Factor demo. I'm enjoying the third beta test for Once Human. Nightingale, I'm waiting for more content with that. I'm waiting for Jump Ship. Sea of Thieves has been a blast.
Mm-hmm.
Almost I everything I've pretty much enjoyed. Even if I'm raging, I'm just pretty much enjoying.
Well, it could be easy to rage on things. Have you heard of that game, another Crab's Treasure? It's like SpongeBob meets Dark Souls.
I have not.
Oh, you haven't? Okay. It's those boss fights just make you want to throw the controller across the room, but
That's Lords of the Fallen for me right there.
Oh, Lords of the Fallen, I've seen that, yeah. Yeah, it's but there's definitely always new games to find. I'm not sure about some of there's a lot of early access games. Sometimes they look good, other times I'm not sure. I think still there's probably a bit too many a lot of early access games. There could be probably a little bit less. Even Bear Gate 3 or Baldur's Gate 3, I mean, being early access was really weird to me when I first saw that coming out. And
Sex with a Bear?
Right.
Yeah.
I understand why so many people bought that game. I understand there's a lot of content in there, but they basically promised the world in a way, and some things I don't think they delivered on, and especially in the customization for females and other stuff. I don't know if you played Baldur's Gate 3 or Bear Gate 3 or whatever.
No.
With the three of us, I know, decided to stay away from it. It's just there's certain things in that as a game based on D&D, we're just like, no, we can't do this. This is not for us. You guys can have fun, whoever bought this, but this is just not the direction that the three of us like in terms of a game based on D&D. But it's very popular, obviously. It still is, fine.
You can't deny it.
I can't deny it. They did a lot of really good PR work, I guess, with that game. But it's funny that Larian Studios is not going to make a Bear Gate 4 or a Baldur's Gate 4, and they'll do something else. And maybe it'd be, if it's more like Divinity Original Sin, because they did those games, maybe it'll be more interesting. Maybe something that we'll want to buy in the future. I don't know, but
yeah, I think the only ones that we mocked for with Bear Gate is those that bought it for having the bear stuff. It's like, okay, yeah,
right,
yeah, we'll mock you guys, but we can understand why people bought it for the D&D experience. It does look a pretty game. It looks,
yeah. And then I remember you liked Alan Wake 2 as well, and I know
you're gonna get me canceled now. Shit, what the fuck, man?
Because we talked about that before, and I know about there's some controversy with that game, and there was an article that came out recently, and they said it didn't really sell that well, but it doesn't really matter because people like you and other people enjoyed it, so that's good. But it's I guess I'll play it at some point. It's also like it's on Epic Games, and I don't know if it'll ever move from Epic Games and it'll go to Steam. I'm not sure about that. I know it's fine to buy games on Epic, but I just haven't really had a desire, and I wish they would work on their UI, Steven, and it would be nice because Steam, it's not perfect, but the UI is so good, and then of course usually good, but the forums, that's where I really think there needs to be user reviews and forums on Epic Games Launcher that you can, that would be cool. Mm-hmm.
And there's a game recommendation I have for you, Steven. It comes out this month, and that's Star Trek Resurgence.
Is that the Telltale one, or is that the?
Yeah, it's more of a Telltale
that's the
one,
Telltale one that was released last year on Epic, and it's coming out later this month on Steam.
Yeah.
Okay.
It does look good, and it made Mike emotional, which is hard to do. So that's especially
he's very unemotional. No, I mean, I had fun watching it. I had to leave one of his streams early to go to another one, and Mike's going, I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on going. I'm going, damn it, Mike.
Yeah, it was part 2 of the stream. Remember, I was saying, okay, I'm going to go ahead and edit it, but the story itself, it just sucked me in, and I didn't want to stop. And I ended up going 8 hours that night.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, you were still going after I was done with the other stream. It's like, man, you got obsessed.
I wouldn't say obsessed. It's when a good game sucks you into it where you don't want to stop. You want to try to keep going and see how far you can get.
Yeah. Well, that in by itself is a little bit of an obsession, but it's a good obsession. Let's put it that way. You're enjoying it so much, you want to keep going. You want to see where the story's going to go. And it looked, it looks good. I want to get that game myself.
Yeah, it does. Mike definitely sold me on that game. So
far better than STO.
Well, STO can be fun, but it's
they
could do so much more with it. They really could if they wanted to.
Yeah.
And that leads me into my question for you, Steven. Is there a game that you played, whether it's been recently or some other time, where you thought about putting it down during that day's gameplay, but something about it just keeps sucking you in where you don't want to put it down?
That's pretty much Once Human. Nightingale was the same thing because I was prepped for it. Probably when Jump Ship comes out, same thing. Like I go through games pretty quick. I don't even beat all of them, but yeah, there's games I go back to.
Yeah, it depends if it sucks you in or not. Yeah.
Again, not everyone likes watching games. Not everyone gets it,
No.
and it's always going to be. It's just fun. Like, I just see it as an everyday. It's like it's the routine now. Play a game, see if I like it. Play the next game, keep going. Play multiple games in one stream.
I mean, I guess for me, it's not odd watching other people play games because when you went to the arcades and all that, well, if you're standing in line to get to a game, you're watching other people playing and seeing their gameplay, how they're doing it, and making sure you got your quarter on there so you get your turn. But it's like, yeah, watching a game can be exciting, especially when you can tell that the person who's playing it is having a heck of a lot of fun.
Exactly.
And I think that's the important thing, that having fun is infectious. And that what keeps you around, keeps you drawn in. Again, it's you doing the thing because you love it, and you're being yourself. You're not trying to be somebody else, and it's infectious. They can, even when you have a camera on, they can tell if you're smiling or not. They can tell if you're, if you're phoning it in. Well, a lot of times when people are playing games, it's hard to phone it in, especially when you get passionate and start getting to that throwing the controller across the room.
I haven't done that in a long time.
It's better not to.
But I think I can say for all of us, we do get to a point where we're playing a game, we're trying to beat a boss, we're doing everything that seems like the right thing to do, and just when you think you're going to beat the boss, the game ends up pulling the rug out from under your legs, and you just start cursing up a storm.
Yeah. Remember that boss? You know, remember that boss, Mike, on Ratchet and Clank, that final boss?
Mm-hmm.
I
Watching
did,
you go through it
and
multiple times, and
Cuphead. You know, I just
Oh,
I would love to give some other people a crash course. And all right, you guys want something hard? Play Cuphead. Go
mhm,
through it. See how you feel
mhm.
afterwards.
Yeah. Come back and talk to us later, okay? Have fun.
Well, you can say anything about any Souls game or playing Bloodborne and
Yes,
the same shit, right?
Mhm,
absolutely.
Mhm.
Yes.
right.
yeah, playing Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. That's not an easy game. That's a game
Yeah.
that'll humble you
Great
quick.
game. That game
No,
is
that's on a
brutal.
list of maybe in the future. I am not even
Mhm.
planning on.
Well,
I
Evil
mean,
West was doing a good job on you, Mike, for a while.
Yeah,
yeah.
it did. I actually had to go back through the game, change some of my skill sets so I could finally beat the final boss because the skill sets I had when I first got to the final boss, they weren't enough. I was too weak.
Hmm.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah.
It is. And it's like, oh, can I want to look at a guide. No, no, no. I'm stubborn. I don't want to do it. Let's just figure this out. Let's start it all over again. Oh shit.
I mean, I'll admit it. There have been streams where I've been stuck on a boss for 2 hours, and people have left, come back saying you're still dealing with that boss. Yeah, I keep messing up, making some
Mhm,
stupid mistake.
mhm.
Yeah, well, it's easy to do, and
I've done that more than once.
That's the thing, though. I need more games being talked because there's not much shows out either.
Mm-hmm.
there no, not much. No.
I enjoyed X-Men '97. I
Did
did.
you? Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah, I did. It actually hit me in the feels, especially during the later episodes, because it did something I wasn't expecting, and that was good. I need that shit. I still have like YouTube on the background, or I'll be watching anime, or that's it. It's pretty much
Yep.
Mhm.
that's it. It's very simple. You don't have to like. Fallout was good. I don't care. People
I
can
like.
say it wasn't.
I don't
Fallout was
care
good.
what they say either. I liked Fallout. There's a few
Yeah.
things I didn't care for, but overall, I think it was enjoyable, and it felt like the games. And even though the director Jonathan Nolan said that it doesn't matter really as much what the fans think, well, it still felt like the
Mhm.
games. So they did
Yeah.
something right. Yeah,
I think he just did that to tweak people, but I liked it. I
probably.
liked the Fallout series.
Okay,
The wife liked it.
it did one thing that was necessary, and it brought players back to the games. Even Fallout
Yeah, it did.
76.
It did.
Yeah.
It was a very big marketing tool. I will say, definitely to bring people back
Hell
to
yeah!
the games.
And I've had
Yes.
fun with 76. It's been pretty good.
Hmm.
Hell yeah,
I've
man.
had fun watching you.
I forget when I leave, and I leave the mic on in area mode, and I just get all weird.
No, I've never played Fallout 76. So watching you
I've
play
neither.
Fallout
It's
76
free.
or
Yeah.
any other game that maybe I myself may not have interest in, but watching you or someone else play it, I enjoy it because I get to
Mhm.
see what the game's all about without having to play it.
What Mike is saying is, I get to watch a sucker waste money, and I can save mine.
Oh, no, I've been a sucker on a few games and I've regretted it.
Jedi Survivor.
Hey,
Yeah,
no,
I
Survivor ain't
bought
that
it on
bad.
release.
You still finished it. Yeah,
I
but you still
I
finished
bought
it.
it on release when it had all its problems last year.
I haven't had any problems.
It's well, I mean that's good for you, Steven, but people are still having problems, tech issues with that game on Steam, unfortunately.
I'm playing the Xbox version. I haven't had shit problems. The only problem is
well-
they made me download the EA fucking goddamn
Of course.
Yeah, the EA
Or-
launcher.
Yes.
You got to have this launcher in order to play this game that you just installed on your computer.
Well, it's and speaking of this, EA is still a nightmare, but overall, I know you even, of course, Steven, played the Dead Space remake, and I thought
I
about
liked it.
playing it, but I just haven't pushed myself to do it.
Well,
I
the
know you
funny thing
remember you say you liked
sorry.
it. Yeah. Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
do like. Well, that's the funny part. I think that was Motive who did that, right?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, they're now working on the new squad base for the next Battlefield. They're going back squad and class base, not the stupid shit we had before with the.
Okay.
So Motive is going to be working on that. Yeah, because they're not going to be doing any more seasonal support when it comes to 2042 because that was a wreck of a show.
It was.
Yeah, that's one where I spent money on the pre-order.
I remember we talked
and I
about.
was like, "What the?"
I remember we talked about it on Daryl's channel and stuff, and it's like, did you feel good about that? It's like how I felt about Aliens Colonial Marines. You spent $60 on this. You went through it on the hardest difficulty with some friends, and then you're like, why do I want to play this again? And just like you, I get annoyed by those things. It's like, why do I have to hit this key for the alien to jump in the multiplayer? Like, why can't he just go up the wall? Why do I have to hit a key? It's just weird.
And I apologize to anyone in the chats who are bored about gaming right now.
Wake up, Phil.
I'll let Phil play with himself. That's
Crazy.
Well, there was no phrasing. That was the truth.
Well, I mean, it's just like the Battlefront 1-2 remaster. It's
that with all
what
that.
a
Let's give it 5 servers and see how that goes.
You know,
Yeah.
there's even people within the group that they'll say, even on their stream, Steven, and I'm not going to use people's names, but they say, "Isn't this the game you wanted?" No, it's not Mike. Isn't this the game you wanted?
It
It's
could
like
have been. I almost bought that on day one.
yeah, I think a lot of us did.
I did, but it got returned. It's like, nope, not going to have it.
I
was sad.
It's really unfortunate. I mean, even it's just like with either Persona or games that you're excited about. You're like, oh well, they had to alter this, just like they altered something with Alan Wake 2, and you have to ask the question all the time: is like, is it enough to say, I guess I can let it go, and if the gameplay is good and the story is still solid, I guess it's okay. I just wish they wouldn't do these things, and they keep doing these things, but that's all. Even in what was it, Dark Forces Remastered, they took out the ashtray. It's like what the characters smoke. Yeah, right.
I was gonna say, don't bring up the missing ashtray to cash. You're gonna get about a.
Well, it's just funny. It's no, but it's just funny, Baron. Like I know you bought the remaster, and and it's funny to me also when you read like some of the media. They say, oh, this game is a 7 out of 10. No way, man. Dark Forces is easily an 8 out of 10. Easily.
Oh yeah,
but whatever.
I still hate that one level. Oh.
I know, the sewers or whatever it was.
Right? Yep, the sewers. Yes, I hated it the first time around, and this is reminding me why I hated it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the way you have to open up all the pumps and the things under the water keep grabbing at you with the droids?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hate that level too.
But it's all fun game. I remember playing the hell out of it when it first came out on my Macintosh, and it's like, no.
For those that don't know, a Macintosh is an Apple.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Apple. Yeah.
Yes, the Stone Age of computers. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's a good paper holder now. I still got that computer too. Believe it or not.
Oh.
But I love
there is another question I wanted to ask you, Stephen, because you mentioned Babylon 5 earlier, and I heard you say that you also put on Deep Space Nine, and you'll listen to that in the background, or you'll watch an episode because of how good the show was. But what is it about Babylon 5 that got your attention?
Shadow War. It's always been the Shadow War. It's been the Shadows. It's always been.
Oh, the Shadows are amazing, dude. Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much the back history of the galaxy with the ancient races and shit. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they even touched on a little bit even more with the third space movie, where it's basically Lovecraft and Babylon 5.
Yeah, true. But there's even some episodes, like even with DS9, I'll fucking skip. So I'm like, oh god, not this one, and I'll just pass it because I'm not in the mood to listen to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Move Along Home comes to mind.
Your favorite?
No, it'll never be my favorite Baird.
I still love Babylon 5. It's great
It's
going through it again and just remembering
mhm,
what we have lost and what
mhm.
what good storytelling is. Even some of the poorer episodes, it's like this is still better than what we're getting.
It's better. It's Byron is kind of growing on me. Don't tell Phil, but watching that stuff again, it's like, yeah, okay, I see things with it, but still not my favorite. I still feel it's a
No,
cult. I still feel it's a
yeah,
cult of obviously
well, yeah.
telepaths, but yeah,
hmm Well, and that's the important thing, but it's just interesting to see how that even changed within the story, and you can see the dynamic changing in there. It's like
yes,
I'm catching new things, rewatching it now that I missed, and it's like, oh, I think I understand this now. And that's what's fun about rewatching some of it. It's like,
yeah.
you know, The
And
Gathering.
Armin's absolutely right.
hmm I still got my
And of
copy of
course,
the original.
yeah. And of
Yeah.
course, I changed my avatar, but one of my favorite characters from the series is Londo Malari.
hmm
Well, you're never going to have Malaria Jakar. You're never going to have that type of
No, no,
play off of character and stuff. That's what made them so good.
yes,
hmm
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it was kind of funny. The long suffering. She was watching Amadeus the other day after I was done doing a stream. I sat down and started watching it with her, and watching F. Murray Abram in there. It's like, wow, I can see some of the same mannerisms that Andreas Katsoulis has too. It's like this is like watching Jakar in a period piece in some ways, but you can never replace Andreas. There's just no way. What a great actor he was. What a great
Yeah.
presence.
Do you have any particular episodes of Babylon 5 that you can watch, and it doesn't matter how many times you watched it, you still enjoy it like it's the first time you're watching the episode?
The shadow stuff, like literally the shadow stuff,
hmm
and
yeah,
Kazatum, all that stuff. The
Mhm.
shadow stuff, literally.
Okay.
If you go to Kahazum, you will
Well,
die.
Seinfeld made a great point, and that was a tweet that a lot of people were like getting all kind of hyperbolic about. It's like it's not just comedy television that is dead. There is no entertainment left that people are excited to
Mhm.
watch when they come home. We are way
Yeah.
past the days of stuff like Lost and
yeah, true, yeah,
Sanctuary and
hmm
your
Mhm.
Battlestar.
sliders. People were excited
Yeah,
about
Sliders.
sliders, all
No,
kinds
Oh,
of
yeah.
stuff.
Cro-Mags ruined that shit.
hmm
Farscape,
Yeah.
Black
SG1, I know people were excited about that, of
Swan.
course. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, even X Files. I mean, even though I wasn't a
yes,
big X
right,
Files fan,
right.
my former long suffering loved that show. So I was tagging along for the ride. But yeah, you're just those must watch nights. It's like, oh, this is going to be on. Even Cheers, like he said back, said Cheers right off the bat. I got it funny when he did do
30
was
minute
talking
show,
about
yeah.
that. He never said his show. Notice that Seinfeld never said
Yeah,
Seinfeld.
because that would be ego. That would be ego. He was
Right?
talking about shows in general of like the
Yeah,
generation that would be on
and
TV because there was everything.
Yes,
right,
yes.
and I appreciate
Seinfeld,
that.
Frasier.
A
Hmm
lot of people would have thrown their show in there, but it's just refreshing to see someone that doesn't have that huge ego where they have to throw their show in there.
hmm
Yeah.
And I like that. It was just like, oh, now you really got me paying attention. I agree with you. Now I really interested because you're going from a total critique of what
Right,
we
and
had to what we have now.
even going back and watching season finale of a show like Seinfeld, and at the time it's like, I didn't like this too much, and then going back and then just studying it more when you're older, you're like, oh, you know what, this probably does make sense. Maybe they all do belong in jail,
I always thought that since the first episode.
right? So maybe it makes sense that they need to spend time in jail for a little while, but
Mm,
yeah, there used to be must see TV, even like some new shows out there. It's like, yeah, it's good, but it's not like, oh, I gotta watch this.
right.
This is the time I've got to watch this. But
And
mhm,
you know what? Arwen's bringing up Battlestar Galactica. I don't care if it's the original
mhm,
78 version
mhm,
or if it's the
mhm.
reboot that came out
Reboot,
in
then the
2003. I can
then
watch it.
the mhm,
hmm
yeah,
See, I never liked the
Caprica.
2003, but I can
I know.
understand it.
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
understand it. It's like,
yeah.
okay, yeah, I can understand you liking it. Just and again, it comes down to just because it's not my thing doesn't mean it's inherently bad.
Right.
It's just not my thing.
Yep. Same thing with like Deep Space Nine, like that first season. I was like, when it first aired, I was like, my brother and I were like, I'm done with this show. And when I was going back and Crit was showing me it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm starting to like these characters more. And I think you just have to get into the next season, and then things start picking up. Like Mike has said in the past.
Like I've told you, Cash, many times. Get to the second season. It's in the middle of that second season, the show, in my opinion, starts gaining its traction.
Right. Exactly. And sometimes you gotta stick around. Just like the first season of Next Generation, and even into the second season.
It's slow. It's slow.
It took a bit to get there. It doesn't mean that there weren't good episodes there.
No. There were
But overall, it's like it's kind of lackluster. It's not like the original Star Trek where you had more memorable episodes in grabbing you more than what they had there. But
I mean, even stuff, newer things that some of us watch, like Picard season 3, like it was like, well, I tried to like this, but there's just a lot of things I do not like about this show.
Well, there's something wrong with you. Obviously, there's something wrong with you.
Right.
Shinkar.
No, I told you guys why I watched Picard season 3, and I'm gonna let Steven know. I wanted to form my own opinion. I didn't want to go based on the opinion of others, whether it be on social media, whether it be on YouTube, wherever that information was coming from. I wanted to be able to form my own opinion.
Right,
now, Steven, I know you liked season 3 of Picard.
I did, not all of it, but it was the closest to TNG we got. But I love TNG, but I still prefer DS9 more. DS9 was the pinnacle of how Trek could come together without having to actually go out and explore. Kurtzman, Trek, and everything else pretty much turned Trek into the Dominion, the Starfleet into the Dominion. The Discovery turned it into virtue signaling, and then we had what was the one? Strange New Worlds trying to grasp a generational thing as a prequel, but didn't understand why the generational thing was so popular. There is no creativity. It is only action sequences with a filter done by Marvel. That is the problem with Shrek. It is not about boldly going and exploring. It is literally about feelings, crying,
feelings,
explosions, not everything was a battle. Especially when it comes to Trek, when you're explorers, that's the whole thing. They're it was a Galaxy class starship, the Enterprise. They were Constitution class. They were that too. They were exploring strange new worlds. It wasn't about conflict. It wasn't about this or that. It was literally about branching and creating bonds between new worlds, respecting and understanding new civilizations, and not interfering with primitive ones. We don't have that anymore. And that's why it's been warped into this weird fucking platform. Because if you look at the way Treks have gone now, and you look at the way shit happens on fucking Twitter, you can see the mindset where it is. No, it's the same mindset.
I agree.
Disregard history, bury and pretend that only ideologies matter. And you're either on this side of the fucking Trek or you're on that side of the fucking Trek. There is no in between, and people are not happy with that because and then when they don't succeed, it's the fans' fault because you delivered shit. Why don't you want to eat my shit? Well, I prefer food. No, you should eat my shit. I'm not going to eat your shit. Then you're just a racist. What? Because I don't want to eat your shit?
Right.
Yes. Then that's where we are now. You can apply this to Disney too, like trying to push these ideologies and going from apolitical, standing to, all right, let's go with this way. Let's go with that way. And we can all blame the activists in the day because that is true, but the corporation's allowed to happen. The same as Sweet Baby Inc. It doesn't matter anymore. This is why they're pushing, because they think the money is there, because you know what they're paying attention to is the loudest people out in the fucking world rather than the most intelligent, which are usually the ones that are quiet and knowing not to get involved unless it reaches a point where they have to go, you're a moron. And the funny thing is, when you call them a moron with logic, what do they do? What do
they just attack you with stuff. They
attack, they block, they report, or they pretend you don't exist and call you names.
Right. Oh, I'm not going to read all that you wrote, but you're a moron. And they'll say crap like that, and it's like, oh, really? You're not even interested in hearing what I have to say about this or my critique I'm not even attacking anyone. I'm just sitting back saying, this is why.
They can't. People get mad at you even on Discord. Like, it doesn't matter where it is. It could be a comment section, be anything. I just, people can tell me 100 times that, like, even Star Wars is going in some good direction. I'm like, have you watched Ahsoka? How does Ahsoka make sense when they change stuff from Rebels to Ahsoka, and they made it where Sabine actually is force sensitive? It doesn't make any sense. It does not make logical sense, but they don't care. And so all this more goofiness. I still feel like The Mandalorian season 1 and even Andor make more sense with Disney Star Wars than a lot of this other stuff. And people get mad at you for liking Andor. It doesn't matter. It's just whatever.
Well,
but yeah.
See, your problem is, Cash, is you weren't there in the episode where Oprah walked on and goes, "You're force sensitive. You're force sensitive. You're force sensitive. You're all force sensitive." So you missed that episode. So.
It's just everybody has to be everything. They've done this with CW shows. Even when they have these good ideas, they just continue to be like, no, that we have to go into politics. We have to change the characters. They have to whine. They have to do this. Like, no, they don't. You guys had something here, and then you changed it, and you didn't need to. And it's always the same.
Well, again, going back with Star Trek, you know where you stand when even Paramount goes out and puts a release, and they're sitting back saying the infamous Captain Kirk. No, Captain Kirk is not infamous. That means that's not a good thing.
Right.
When you call somebody infamous, it's not a good thing. Khan is infamous. Kor and Kang are, well, not necessarily
and
Kang,
Koloff.
but Kor. Yeah, Koloff. They're infamous, but not Kirk. So when they put Kirk in that category, you can see where they're going. And then the lie where they sit back and say, well, Star Trek has always been SJW. It's like, no, Star Trek was never social justice. It was social awareness. Two different creatures.
Right.
Just because you have the word social in it doesn't mean that they necessarily go hand in hand. But you can't get that through people's mind.
No.
And Arwen, you're absolutely right. He's legendary.
Yeah.
But again, that's Paramount when they treat their own property that way. And if you have a problem with it, guess what? You're an est, a phobe, whatever.
Right. I mean, and you like Dune. Like, I don't know that much about Dune, but I did watch, the older one, Baron, and I did watch. I've watched part 1 and part 2.
No, go on YouTube tonight and watch the Spice Divers.
All right, I'll do that.
Okay. I need to watch that one too. But
when
you sit back, when you say something like that, Arwen, they think that you are this guy right here. The chemicals in the water are turning the freaking Gorn gay. So they think that you're some sort of.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Yeah, hey, that's pretty damn good. But that's how he treat you. I mean,
it's all these different properties. Like, if you like, you're wrong because you like Captain Picard better than Kirk or whatever. But it's just all opinions. That's what it used to be. Then it's become, like you guys said, and I've seen it too, where people just literally hate you because of your opinions. Like, we go back to the gaming Lost Crown. It's like, you're going to tell me that this guy with dreadlocks, how dare you say he has dreadlocks? It's like, but he is. He's like, he's not even Persian. Like, I'm just being honest with you guys. So you're going to tell me this is better than what we had before? This is better than Sands of Time? I don't think so.
I mean, Cash, also, why can't we be more like the dude? And, when someone has a different opinion than us, just...
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Well, Mike, it's because a lot of us are this way.
Do you see what happens, Larry, when you fuck a stranger in the ass?
What Well, that is how some people react. Some people overreact.
They do.
To things that are going on.
They do. That's good. Donnie.
And what do you think about some of the overreaction that we're also seeing right now, Steven?
What do you mean?
Well, how some people are going after different creators just because they want to produce their own comics.
I read it. I'm staying out of it. I'm just saying, everyone grow the fuck up, leave your families out of it. That's it. All I'm gonna
Right.
say.
Rob,
I'm not gonna pick sides because I've seen all of
No.
it, and all I see
Good.
is
No,
it
I'm not asking
happens.
you to pick sides. I mean,
No.
I
I'm
think it's
saying that no.
ridiculous.
I don't think you're asking me to. I'm saying this as a proclamation.
Mhm.
They're fucking grown ups.
Mhm. Right.
yeah.
Even I have to remember that we're still fucking grown ups,
hmm
and it's one of the things I'm happy about not putting as much content into YouTube or being everywhere at once. And I'm sorry if you feel like I've abandoned it on your chat anymore. I'm still probably subscribed to your channels, whoever's listening. It has become to the point where it's exhausting.
Mhm.
And the stuff that does entertain me, I will watch once in a while, but I can only watch so much. Pretty much I'm busy. I prefer the streaming schedule I have. I prefer doing the thumbnail stuff. I like my get up in the morning, having like a gallon of water with one scoop of G Fuel and getting things going, and having anime on and just checking out the
Mhm.
game list of what I can play today. I am content. I'm like I said, and when I see the other stuff popping on, like on my Twitter feed and shit, I don't reply to it. Very rarely do I even like it. I'm just like, why are we doing this? And then it's going to constantly happen. It's a normal part of, I guess, in the content creator sphere. But it's for me, I don't have time for that, and that's not going to help anyone in the long road because you're just saying, hey, we can do this. And next content creators that have a beef, they're just going to do it. And it's to go on forth and on forth and on forth. Fuck, for all you know, it could be planned on both sides, and they're all doing this just to keep it fucking alive. You
For
don't know.
clicks, and you're right. You're right.
I don't care. I don't care
Right.
anymore. Like the things I care about, I'll talk about on my stream, or someone brings up an article or something else. And even then, I'm like, if it's not to get me angry, I'll get kind of angry about it. Or I'll get kind of happy about it. But like, I look now at like what is being said, how it can be received, and I'll wait until not until it gets worse, but until there's enough for me to feel like I have to get upset. I can't wake up starting the day angry, starting the day offended, or starting the day this. I am tired of being exhausted, like literally to the point where it's physically making me exhausted, right?
Right.
Like, well, maybe Steven, it's because you play games 10 hours a day. If I'm playing 10 hours of games and I'm not falling asleep, but as soon as I see fucking drama shit, and well, you have your own drama on your channel, Steven. I know I have one obsessed motherfucker who thinks he's buddy with the people on YouTube now, saying, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And he doesn't understand that he looks like an idiot because I've dealt with these types before. It's like when you say your time is more precious than money.
Mhm.
So that's where I'm going to pretty much put my time. And honestly, whether
You'd
it's
rather
comics,
focus on the things that you enjoy that keep you going and forget about all the BS that's going on out.
if it
out
doesn't
there,
affect him, it like I'll like in the morning though, I my Twitter usually is when I have my spout offs because I see the stupid shit about this or that, so I'll be a little spicy. But it's just I don't engage with that shit. Mecha Random, I'm gonna say because everyone knows what happened. Mecha Random was a prime example of what not to get into. And when you see more of the repetitive nature, it just means you're pretty much giving like a floor plan for channels that are up and coming. How can I get my channel to grow quick enough? I know I'll either bandwagon on this, I'll put my 2 cents worth into this without saying I'm getting involved. And you'll just then you'll start doing it more and more until eventually you've lost the whole reason why you're actually doing this content. Unless you are a drama channel in general. It's I guess the best thing is like the places where you choose to put your energy. It's the same time where do you want to put your energy in on paying attention and getting involved? I'll say this right now. I am sick of campus protesters. I'm going to leave it like that so no one gets in trouble. I am sick of ideology mentalities being pushed. I'm sick of my liberal government. I am sick of rage bait and engagement farms. They're just I'm sick of all of it. It's just I would rather spend 10 hours in 5 different game worlds that are giving me a different reality that literally is apocalypse rather than people claiming, oh my God, it's an apocalypse. I couldn't get water today. It was 3 degrees. I'm just thirsty. Why did you go home and get water? Because I didn't give up my cause of life. I don't remember. Thank you, Jim.
Well-
Fuck out.
Well, I mean that's the one thing too is sometimes they come after you and attack you because you like a particular franchise or such. I mean, look at the fans of Warhammer 40K and how they are attacked as ists and such because they like this universe. It's like,
Warhammer's fucked.
no,
It is
Yeah.
a lot of them.
exactly, and that
Do
this is
custode
a bit-
females make good sandwiches? By the way, I don't know. Do they?
I don't know. I don't know.
Mm.
But the thing is separate
Sorry,
the person
custodians. My bad, custodians.
custodians. Yeah, the female
Custodians,
custodians. The custodians.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know if they make good sandwiches or not, and that's the problem. But the thing is because you like that universe, you have to be an ist because everyone's so oppressive and in that form of government or civilization. It's like, no, it's called escapism. You don't necessarily believe it, but you enjoy visiting that world. You don't want to live in that world.
Right.
And I do. I really do want to live in those worlds sometimes. You want to know why? There's
Yeah.
no one screeching in that world.
That's
Tyranids.
Yeah.
Tyranids. I hate
Oh, that's-
Tyranids. And the Tau. You heard me. You heard me, Phil. Tau. They suck.
Well, it's just the other question is whenever these people want to attack you for these stupid things, you go, have you actually played a Warhammer game? Have you actually read any of the lore? And the answer will probably be no. And so
No.
then
I was told by somebody who was on Twix who talked to his professor who studied all that, and they said it's all bad and don't even look at it because if you do so, you become tainted and unclean.
no.
That's why you have to make your own opinion on the game.
Well, yeah. Well, that's why I watched the first part of Rebel Moon. Why I intend on watching the second one. Why when we were talking about stuff that coming home, the one bad thing is One Piece and Fallout being released all at once.
Yeah.
Becomes a binge fest. It should be something where you set aside one day a week and enjoy. Those were things that was again something to sit back and enjoy. I liked both. I enjoyed the first Rebel Moon movie. I know people out there didn't, and I can understand why. I can't wait to see part 2. I know these two guys have seen it. I've heard their opinions, and and it's like, okay, yeah, I mean, I'll take that into consideration. And I know Zack Snyder's record on making films and how he does it. But that's the thing. Make your own opinion. Go and read something or learn about something a little bit more because it might not be what you're being told. It goes into games as well. It's like, oh, you like that game? It's a horrible game because you do that. You must obviously be sympathetic to these bad people.
Yeah, that's always funny. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I love that. It's like, oh, yeah. And while they're trying to turn around and turn bad people sympathetic in our other medias out there,
Well, that's
Darth Vader's
why
really not that bad. He's a troubled soul.
even your own entertainment, the Mary Sue, the gamers sometimes, but even if you read their other articles lately, they're not going at people and lecturing people as much anymore. So that's weird. Maybe
Really?
because not as much. They're still going to embarrass themselves, just like PC
Yeah.
Gamer, the
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
we brought up with Sweet Baby Stinkalink. I mean, it's easy to make fun of this stuff because it's just like, and then when people tell you, oh, I really enjoyed Spider-Man 2. Well, I think your opinion is blah, blah. Well, that's great. You can think all you want. But what we found out recently about that game is, guess what? The game was over budget. Oops.
And it was bored with the first one.
I have the first one.
Was bored with Ragnarok as well.
You were bored with Ragnarok. Okay, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that happens.
Right.
I'll tell you, you want to know why I liked Alan Wake too? Because I understood what they were trying to do. And secondly, it had Control in it as well because it's all the same Remedy universe. Quantum Break, Control, Alan Wake. So it was connected to the DLC from Control, and I'm waiting for Control 2 if there's ever going to be one. That's where I was like, all right, cool, I get it. Like, and at one level, that's like literally a rock sonata. People are missing out on, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, Quantum Break, I think it's a good game. I think with the TV and then playing the gameplay, like it actually works. I think it's just a solid game. I think Control's a good game. I think the first Alan Wake has a good story. I haven't played 2 yet, so maybe I'll get to it sometime.
Remnant 2 was good too. Now, yeah, this is. Honestly, I don't know where it feels like it's being the dead horse. It's just I'm tired of the. Well, if you like it, this isn't a personal attack on you. If I don't, it's like that shit. This isn't supposed to be a bitch fest because it's not a bitch fest. This is a common conversation. Whoever's listening, whoever listens on repeat, this has been going on for years now, and it's so stupid that we have to pay this dissertation or like parental advisory warning. Someone might not like what I'm going to fucking say, like the real world.
Yeah,
your discretion is advised.
Yep.
By the way, my balls have hair on them. Like I don't need to do this.
I mean,
my name is.
I know what you mean. I wish I didn't have to have the disclaimer and warning, but it's something I put on a few years ago, and I don't like it. I wish I could come on here and we all could come on here. I don't say what's on our.
Well, you put it on there because let's be honest.
But you know, say what's on our mind, and people either agree or disagree, and those who disagree move on. But people aren't capable of moving on anymore. They get butthurt over the littlest things. They get worked up over the littlest things.
Yes.
Right. It's gone to. We agree to disagree, and I can understand why you don't like it too. I want validation.
Yeah,
validate me. I like it, so you gotta like it. You gotta respect my opinion and validate me. It's like, why do I need to? I'll concede that it's your opinion, and I'll respect that you have that opinion, but I'm not necessarily gonna, give you validation. All that, enjoy it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's a TV show, a game, whatever. It's like I always like to ask those questions, like, why are people excited about this character or whatever? Like, it just seems funny to me, and people get so mad at you even asking those questions, because how dare you ask any kind of question that doesn't fit their so-called narrative that they think in their minds.
Right.
Every time. So.
No matter what, though, you're still wrong, Cash.
Right, YouTube, Aaron.
If you're white, you're wrong. If
That's
you're
right.
a white man, you're more wrong. Okay?
Well, that's okay. Cash is really an AI.
That's the mindset nowadays.
I'm sorry, just the quiet part out loud.
Oh, don't worry about it, because folks, it has reached the time where now Pop Talk goes to Rumble for the third hour. I have included
third hour. It's been
Rumble.
3 hours worth?
Yeah.
Yes. God, what's wrong with my life?
You said just to come here. That's what it was.
we do invite each and every one of you who are watching us right now to join us over on the Rumble side. And before we leave the YouTube side, I do want to thank those of you who stopped by. We had Phil McCracken.
My nipples look like milk duds.
The fuck.
I didn't know that.
But Phil McCracken was here. Low spec Linux laptop. Arwen Avalon, thank you, Arwen. DJ Ronnie G, thank you for the member chat. Really appreciate it, brother.
Yes. Yes.
Nerd.
Leia Rose. Wolverine. Even you, Carl. Apollome's Minion. Yeah, he did. We also had Tim, also known as FKHC 2005. T-Gap Steve. DJ Ronnie G. Lady Mist. Tripping Orc. Decepticons Cave of Collectibles. I was about to call him by his old name. Comics and Toys. Apollome's Minion. Anonymous. Nighthawk. Irate Specialist. Good to see you, Irate. Tim's Talk.
Get back to work.
And good to see more. Well, I just try to do this every edition of Pop Talk to thank everybody who's stopped by. Yes, Wolverine, we are moving to Rumble, brother.
Rumble.
We are. So, those of you on the YouTube side, the link is in the chat if you wish to join us. And I will start ending the broadcast over on the YouTube channels and Baron's Facebook channel.
No. Bye, everybody.
Okay. And also over on Twitter, we're going to end it there too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, great. Forgot we're on Twitter.
Yeah, we're twattering.
I can't
Yeah,
get I can't get it to my Streamlabs is good to link to Twitter through Restream.
Caster, do you have any issues? Because I thought you had some issues with it doing that.
It would say sending data, but never stream.
No, it was fine. It was all the event. Once the event got fixed, then it was